Good evening, beautiful being. What if you could overcome your anxiety about failing in life? How relaxed would you feel, not just now, but in life on a day-to-day basis? Maybe not overcoming this deeply seated anxiety keeps you in making small decisions sometimes, keeps you anxious sometimes, and keeps you away from your natural brilliance and potential, or making bolder decisions and enjoying the process instead of having this urgency about everything. So this sleep guided meditation and visualization is not going to be only deeply relaxing, but also gently inspiring and liberating in ways that you may have not seen coming. And my name is Olivia Kissper. I'm going to be your guide today. And all you have to do is just relax into the sound of my voice and let it gently guide you. And if you'd like to be the person who gives back sometimes, then consider supporting me on Patreon and ensuring these videos keep coming. And let's begin by taking a deep breath in and let it go. Imagine standing at the edge of a river, but this isn't an ordinary river. It's made of starlight, glowing softly as it flows endlessly into the distance. This is what we are going to experience today. And also, in your hands, you'll be holding something heavy, a tangled ball of thread, knotted, representing every worry, every fear, and every thought about failing. And for a moment, just feel its weight in your hands. Notice its texture, the way it tugs at you, as though it's alive. But what if, with just one breath, the river could carry it all away? What if the idea of failure wasn't real, just a story you've been carrying? And so tonight, you're not here to fix anything, you're here to rest, to set it all down and let the river take it from you. And so, close your eyes and feel the world around you soften, as though it's fading gently into the background. You don't need to be anywhere or do anything. Tonight, there is nothing to achieve, nothing to prove. You don't need to earn anyone's approval. You can simply let yourself be. And as you breathe in, notice the air filling your chest, expanding like warm light. And as you exhale, feel the body begin to soften, melting into the surface beneath. Imagine this breath as a gentle tide, pulling tension out of your body and carrying it away, wave by wave. Very good. Now feel the weight of your body against the ground, like a tree firmly rooted in the earth. And with each breath, imagine those roots sinking deeper, anchoring you in safety and calm. And your shoulders begin to drop as though they've been holding the weight of the world. And now they are finally allowed to rest. And notice your hands. They are not holding anything anymore. So let them relax, completely open and weightless. And your jaw softens. Your stomach loosens. And even the eyes, with all the muscles around, begin to relax, as though your entire face is exhaling. And now picture your body as a snow globe that's just been shaken. The swirling flakes are your thoughts, spinning, chaotic, endless. But as you continue to breathe, notice how the flakes begin to settle, drifting gently downward until the globe it's clear, still, and calm. And let's go deeper. Bring your attention to your chest. Maybe you feel a tightness there, or a heaviness that's been following you throughout the day. And this is the part of you that's been holding on to fear, clinging tightly to the idea of maybe failing somehow. Don't push it away. Just notice it, as if you were observing a small flame flickering in the darkness. And now imagine that flame is shrinking, becomes softer, as though your breath is blowing gently across it. And with each exhale, it grows smaller, quieter, until it's no more than a warm ember glowing softly. And now let's take that warmth and turn it into light. Picture this light spreading through your chest, down into your stomach, and radiating through your entire body. It's not a harsh light. It's soft, golden, like sunlight filtering through leaves. And feel it melting away any tension of resistance, leaving you open and weightless. And now imagine that you are holding a jar in your hands, and inside this jar is every fear you've ever had about failing, swirling like a storm. The jar feels heavy, almost too much to carry. But with each breath, imagine the storm inside growing calmer. The winds die down, the clouds part, and soon all that's left is a soft glow of light within the jar. And so now imagine placing that jar on the ground just beside you and feel its weight leave your hands completely. You don't need to carry it anymore. You don't even need to look at it. Just leave it there, resting in the stillness. And now let's step into a new space. Picture yourself in a vast, moonlit garden. The air is cool and the sky above is shimmering with stars. But this isn't an ordinary garden. It's filled with doors. And each door glows faintly, a color you've never seen before. And then behind each one lies a fear you've been carrying. And take a moment to look around and let one of the doors catch your attention. You don't need to know why. It's as though it's calling you softly and without words. Walk toward it, feeling the ground beneath your feet, steady and familiar, and place your hand on the door. Notice its surface, smooth and warm, almost as if it's alive. And as you push it open, the space inside begins to unfold like a dream. It's not a room behind the door. It's a river. But this river doesn't flow downward. It flows upward into the sky, carrying glowing feathers that drift gently into the stars. And take the weight of your fear, whatever shape it's taken. Maybe it's a thought or a feeling in your chest, and just place it into the river. And watch as it's carried upward, lighter and lighter, until it simply disappears completely, blending into the stars above. And as you breathe, feel the space where all of the fears once lived. And notice how open it feels now. Just notice for a few moments, like a door that's been left ajar, letting fresh air flow in. You don't need to fill this space with anything. Just let it remain open, light and free. You don't need to fill it with positive affirmations. Just let it remain spacious and alive. And stay here for a moment, watching the feathers drift upwards, glowing softly as they rise. And each one carries a piece of the weight you've been holding. And then watch them disappear into the night sky until there is nothing left but a quiet sound of the river flowing. Now take a deep breath in and feel how much lighter your body feels now, as though the ground just softened beneath you like clouds. And let yourself just rest here in this garden of light, knowing that you've let something go. And now imagine yourself slowly leaving the garden and stepping onto a bridge made entirely of glass. And as you walk, you notice that the glass reflects the sky above, a swirling ocean of light and shadow. It feels as though you are suspended between two infinite worlds. And with each step, the bridge beneath you begins to soften, as though the glass is melting into liquid. But you are not afraid. You are not falling. You are floating, as though the very air has wrapped around you, holding you safely. You're still standing on the glass bridge, and the reflection beneath you shimmers, shifting between the infinite sky and the rippling waters below. And with every breath, the bridge beneath you, beneath your feet, feels less and less solid, as though it's becoming part of you, or maybe you part of it. And so pause here for a moment. Let yourself notice the stillness in the air around you, the quiet hum in this strange place. And then something curious begins to happen. The reflection beneath your feet pulls you in, not with force, but with invitation. It's as though it's asking you to step inside, to explore the space between the sky and the water. And so you lean forward, letting your body dissolve into the glass, and suddenly you are floating in a vast open expanse. There is no ground here, no walls, no ceiling, just endless space, stretching out in every direction. And within this space, you begin to notice small, glowing orbs of light. They drift gently around you, pulsing softly, like they are alive. And each orb holds a story. Not just any story, your stories. The moments you've clung to, the identities you have worn, the fears that have whispered to you in the night. They are all here, floating quietly, waiting. And you reach out to touch one, and as your fingers graze its surface, it opens, revealing an image. Maybe it's a moment from your past, a conversation you wish you had done differently, or a risk you didn't take, a failure you never forgave yourself for. Watch it play out, not with judgment, but with curiosity. And ask yourself softly, what if this story was never mine? What if it's just something I picked up on the way, like a pebble in my shoe? What if it never was about me? And what if it never meant anything about me or my future? And notice how it feels to hold this question, not to answer it, but simply to let it exist, like a ripple spreading across still water. And the orb begins to dissolve in your hand, its light flowing into the space around you. And you watch as it fades, leaving nothing behind but a quiet hum. A soft reminder that the story was never more than light, smoke and mirrors. You float here for a while, surrounded by these glowing orbs, watching as they drift further away, and their light blending into the vastness. And then, slowly, you begin to notice something else. There is a presence here. It's not a person, not a figure. It's more like a hum, a knowing, something vast and formless. It surrounds you, moves through you, and whispers softly. Who would you be if you stopped trying to hold everything together? And you let that question settle into your chest. Don't try to grasp it. Just feel how it opens something inside you, like a door you didn't know was there. And you begin to notice your breath again, the rise and fall, steady and unshaken. And with each exhale, you feel lighter, as though you're letting go of something you didn't even know you were carrying. And then, in the distance, you see it. A single object glowing faintly in the vastness. And as you move closer, you realize it's a table. Not an ordinary table. It's impossibly long, stretching out so far that you can't see where it ends. And on this table, There are some objects scattered here and there. A cup, a key, a book. Each one is strange, out of place, yet familiar, as though they've been waiting for you. You pick up the cup. It's filled with liquid, shimmering like quicksilver, and you bring it closer, and you notice your reflection in its surface, distorted and shifting, as though it's showing you all the versions of yourself you've ever been. And you ask softly, if none of these reflections are real, then what am I? And in the silence that follows, the cup begins to overflow, its liquid pouring onto the table and spreading outward. But instead of making a mess, the liquid begins to dissolve the table itself, piece by piece, until there is nothing left but the space you started in. And this is what remains when the stories fall away. This is the quiet you have been searching for, the stillness beneath the noise. Breathe and notice how it feels to be here, to just be, not as a collection of thoughts and fears, but as the space between them. And as you begin to feel your body again, the weight of your arms, the rise and fall of your chest, know that you can return to this place anytime. It's not somewhere far away. It's not something you need to earn or achieve. It's always been here, waiting for you. And as you continue to breathe, let yourself rest in this knowing that you are not your failures and you are not your successes. You are not the stories you've told yourself about who you are. You are the space that holds it all. The space that always wins, because there is nothing else than the space. And as such, it has nothing else to compare to. Good night. Are you tired of meditation? So is your butt. Check out my book, The End of Your Story, Spiritual Awakening Without Any Self-Development Tools. Try not to laugh. Available on my website or on Amazon.